how on earth did this thing survive over time? Because they created this incredibly decentralized. Because what did they understand? If there's anything that alcoholics and addicts detest, power, authority, we aren't very herdable, as a group. And we don't play well together sometimes. So the idea that if we elected leaders, we would destroy them, so then why not have leaders and decentralize all of this at a group level? Radical. And in fact, there are people who've argued that a century from now, AA may be more known historically for this unique organizational structure than its remedy for the condition of alcoholism. Creative management of the 5 Ps through the tradition. Don't have time for these, but here's what they are. Personality and egos. The issue of charismatic leadership. The question has always been, can a recovery mutual aid society outlive its founding generation? And that was still open to question. And I would argue to you historically that without the traditions, AA would have been unlikely to have outlived its founding generation. But with those traditions in place and the service structure that then came into place, that was possible. AA remains the standard by which we judge others for very simple reasons. One is its size, its geographical dispersion internationally, its historical longevity, the number and methodological rigor of AA research, which now numbers in the thousands of studies, the adaptions of other problems of living, the influence on addiction treatment, and its visibility within the treatment as a whole. So now let's begin to move forward in terms of the update. I want to do 2 pieces to this. In terms of the 1970 to 2000, we see the dramatic growth of 12-step groups during this period. And we see, I asked Ernie Kurtz at one point if he was going to do a new book on AA, sort of what would its theme be and what might its title be? And what his answer was, I thought was very provocative, because he said, if I was going to do it again, I would probably call this part of the story, the modern story, the varieties of AA experience. And what he was talking about was the incredible diversification of what the experience is within the AA fellowship. And you see that in terms of sort of the incredible ways that the meeting formats, the specialty groups, things that would have been almost impossible to have recognized from earlier time periods. In terms of the spiritual frameworks, again, we've got historically AA, NA in terms of its 3 key early kind of founding milestones. I wish we had more time for me to really do more on NA for this reason. Most of the other 12-step fellowships down here are relatively self-contained. Some of them, for the most part, very short-lived, many of them very localized. NA is very significant, one, in terms of all